Hello and welcome to my settings guide for The Last of Us 2. First, we're going to be going over the controls. I have the default controller layout. I would recommend having remember shoulder swap on. Basically, whenever you aim, whatever shoulder you had swapped to, it's going to remember that for the next time you aim in. Listen mode is off because I played grounded. Weapon swap, I don't use this very much at all, really. Weapons only though. These are all my sensitivity settings. If you want to copy them, go ahead and pause the video. I have none of my aiming inverted. Motion sensor aiming, go ahead and turn this off. Basically, you can aim with the motion of your controller. Camera assist and lock on aim, go ahead and just turn this off. Camera assist is going to help you just look around and adjust your camera to where you're supposed to go. Lock on aim is kind of like aimbot. Aim assist, I have that on 10. It's not really noticeable in this game that much. I like being immersed in the game, so I have all this DualSense controller stuff on all the way. Next for HUD, I would just recommend having most of this turned on. My default or my reticle is on simple. It's just going to be a dot. Have this pretty much all this stuff turned on unless you're ungrounded. Then you can have some of it turned off. I have pretty much all of it except my crosshair turned off from my videos to make it, harder or, look harder, look more immersive, stuff like that. Pick up notifications, basically what that's going to do is when you ever pick something up in the bottom left of your screen, it's going to tell you what you picked up, how much of it, all that stuff. I like having it turned off. This tutorial stuff, like the hints and the dodge notifications, I have that all turned off. Yeah, like I said, just have most of the stuff turned on. Collectible tracking can be really useful if you're trying to 100% the game. Make sure to have that on. Next, for subtitles, is surprisingly kind of important. Make sure to turn this on to story plus combat dialogue, because in some encounters, the enemies can be too far away to where you can't hear them, and they'll be like, oh, where'd she go, But you'll think it's just, you got all the enemies in the encounter and you start running around, and then all of a sudden you're dead, you start shot at. But if you have this turned on, it'll say, oh, where is she? But you won't be able to hear it, you can just see it in the subtitles, so it's going to really save you. I have to have it on small though, just to make it not really take up much of my screen. I have all this rest stuff on default off, I have it white, stuff like that. Next is going to be display settings. If you're trying to go for just the best experience overall, go for the performance. It's going to make it to where you have the best FPS at sacrifice of quality, but if you want fidelity, go ahead and just turn that on. Right, it's going to give you better graphics but less FPS. Unlock frame rate if you have VRR or variable refresh rate on your monitor or TV. You can turn that on and get 120 FPS max, right? Here are all my brightness settings. I have HDR turned on for this, of course. I have camera shake, FOV and motion blur turned on to the max. The only thing I don't have turned on the max is the film grain. That just makes the game look horrible. Just little pixels moving around on your screen, it looks horrible. The rest of it kind of makes it, more immersive for me at least. And I like it, so I turn that on, me personally. Audio, I have all this turned up. It's set the music to make my videos sound better. Accessibility audio cues. If you're using some kind of things like invisible or prone, it will make this little noise that's super annoying when I'm really just trying to do some testing for a video or something like that. I just have that turned off. Now it's time for accessibility. We're on alternate controls. I have most of the stuff, pretty much all the stuff on default except the guitar strumming. I have this on taps. It's just gonna make it to where you have to tap the what's it called? The D-pad instead of swipe it to do the guitar thing. I like that easier. I find that easier. Or I could put it on a button, which is even better. I don't know why I don't have that on, but melee while aiming. I don't know what this. It makes it to where you can melee while aim, but you can also just unmelee or unaim to melee. I don't really get the point in this, so I just have that off. Repeated button presses is when it's interesting. Turn it off, but if you have it on hold, it'll take slower. Like if you tap it and tap it as fast as you can get out of a grab faster as if you had it on hold. Melee combos, it's just personal preference. I just have this on tap, just the default. All this stuff's just on default, sprinting, crafting, all that. Hold breath, make sure to have this on toggle, so you just have to press it once instead of holding it down, kind of making your aim worse, in my opinion. There's more of that stuff that we already saw, like the lock on aim, the arc aim, whatever. Auto weapon swap, if you ran out of ammo in one gun, it's going to switch to another gun that you have ammo in and use that one. Turn that off. Auto pickup, basically if you turn this on, it's going to just pick up everything in your area, anything that you walk by. I have this off because sometimes if there's something on the ground, it'll kind of slow me down when I don't want to get slowed down, you know what I mean? Like if I'm running from WLF or anything like that, I just pick something up, it just slows me down and I can get shot, HUD, I have all this on just the default settings. High contrast though, for finding collectibles is great. It's going to highlight everything yellow or any kind of interactable item yellow. Like I said earlier, I like all my HUD settings just on the default white. Motion sickness is more the stuff that we already went over, like the motion blur and the camera shake. And the FOV, camera distance, I have that all the way up. Dolly zoom effect, still haven't been able to figure out what the hell that even means. Full screen effects, I switch it on and off time to time, kind of distracting when it's on. Persistent center dot, this can be pretty useful if you're a little bit newer to the game or just in general. If you can pop up from cover but already have your crosshair aimed on the target on its head and then just pop up and just shoot him in the head. I still somehow do it without it. I don't know what God's gift I have, but I'm just good like that. So navigation traversal, this is more stuff for accessibility, blindness, deafness, stuff like that. Skip puzzle though, I do have that on sometimes because it'll just get me to the next encounter faster. Right? I don't want to be spending time doing puzzles all day. I just want to get to the next encounter. All right. Ledge guard, if you're too close to a ledge and you're almost about to fall off, it'll stop you. I don't know if it stops you all the way from falling off and to your death, but I don't know. Enhanced listen modes would be useful for finding items. Kind of cheating though, to be honest. Screen reader and audio cues is more just stuff for blind people, deaf people. I've never messed with this. Go ahead in the comments, let me know if you're blind or deaf. If you're deaf, I'm not sure how you're really watching the fucking video, but alright. Now, time for combat accessibility. It's basically just cheats. This is literally just cheats. Like invisibility while prone, that's just not necessary. Just keep all this stuff off if you want a legit playthrough. Anyways, that's about it for the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know what I should do next in the comments. Goodbye.